What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Suzanne Vega. And I'm going to go through this artist's material in a slightly different way that I'm doing for a number of the other deep dives, where I've been going album to album, in some cases doing bonus tunes, in other cases just literally going through the album from beginning to end and moving on to the next. But we're going to go through her catalog with some choice and select tunes, and the first one is a track multiple people talked about when I reacted to Luka, a song that's still bouncing around in my head, in which the stark dichotomy of was very interesting to experience, and a number of people commented that was seemingly part of the point of the track. But yeah, we're going to listen to a tune called The Queen and the Soldier. I like the pairing. A queen is a noble woman, depending, it could be divine even, but a woman of the highest status and in many renderings and understandings of the most eminent beauty and or power. So it speaks to a very significant woman. And then a soldier. Often soldiers are associated with fighting, but they also advance, they also hold positions, they defend, they serve. So I feel like there may be a connection that is on a functional level, but maybe an emotional level as well. We'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Suzanne Vega, and the track is The Queen and the Soldier from her 1985 self-titled album.
The soldier came knocking upon the queen's door. He said, I am not fighting for you anymore. And the queen knew she'd seen his face someplace before, and slowly she led him inside. He said, I've watched your palace up here on the hill, and I've wondered who's the woman for whom we all kill. But I am leaving tomorrow, and you can do what you will. Only first I am asking you why. Down the long narrow hall he was led, into her room with her tapestries red, and she never once took the crown from her head. She asked him then to sit down. He said, I see you now, and you are so very young, but I've seen more battles lost than I have battles won. And I've got this intuition, says it's all for your fun. And now will you tell me why? Well, the young queen, she fixed him with an arrogant eye. She said, you won't understand, and you may as well not try. But her face was a child, and he thought she would cry. But she closed herself up like a fan, and she said, I've swallowed a secret burning thread. It cuts me inside, and often I've bled. And he laid his hand then on the top of her head, and he bowed her down to the ground. Tell me, how hungry are you, how weak you must feel, as you are living here alone and you are never revealed. But I won't march again on your battlefield. And he took her to the window to see, and the sun, it was gold, though the sky was gray. And she wanted more than she ever could say, but she knew how it frightened her, and she turned away and would not look at his face again. He said, I want to live as an honest man, to get all I deserve and to give all I can, and to love a young woman whom I don't understand. the crown, it had fallen, and she thought she would break. And she stood there, ashamed of the way her heart ached. And she took him to the doorstep, and she asked him to wait. She would only be a moment inside. And out in the distance her order was heard, and the soldier was killed, still waiting for her word. And while the queen went on strangling in the solitude she preferred, the battle continued on.
Of that track, like just instrumentally, it's like we hear the piano chords, we hear this lush organ, there's a soft strumming acoustic guitar, I think maybe a mandolin. Just the layering of the melody and the atmosphere overall was remarkable, and a crazy narrative with seeming some role reversal. Normally soldiers wouldn't be allowed into the palace on the hill to express their frank and dismissive, or rather critical feelings about the queen's perception, her attitude, her orders, her understanding, to then, lay it before her. And even though she strikes a tone seemingly of defiance, she's sort of made to bow before him, and she can't bear to look, and she can't process, and isn't ready for the feeling, the heartache, and she goes to the door, but then he's killed while still waiting. It's just the way the story unfolded was remarkable. And even though I'm not fully sure I appreciate the emotional palette and chronology that we hear, I definitely think it was a very vivid and emotionally dramatic story. So an incredible tune. Really looking forward to hearing people comment on this one, either like the specific narrative or the themes at play, because again, I seem to catch some of it, but I'm not sure the full puzzle all pieced together. But as I said, sonically gorgeous, certainly not simple. Again, it had really nice and multifaceted layering, but the tune wasn't overly epic or kinetic or dynamic. It just had this soft, lush space that it inhabited. So an incredible tune. Shout out to Suzanne. Let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you for the next one, which, if you do have a Suzanne tune from this particular album that you'd like to hear, do give it a shout below. Yeah, and I will see you next time. Peace.